Hello. I want us to discuss something that happened today, and I want you to listen to this.
And in some breaking news today, KZN Hawks boss and Ket Matala's friend, Major General Lesitja Sununa, has resigned. Yes, you heard it right. His resignation took place immediately last Friday. Sununa had reportedly attempted to access his retirement benefits before leaving office. It is alleged that this request was declined. Now, his lawyer says Sununa knows there are people who wanted to take him down and he did not want to give them that satisfaction. Plus, he's already at retirement age, so he decided not to continue bothering himself with the drama at work.
Yes, so this topic came especially when Shibiri was dismissed. And now people are beginning to ask, Kuti, why didn't he go through the disciplinary hearing? And others are saying he will lose his pension. So we want to iron out such. Now, they both, so it's going to be Shibiri and this guy, General Sinon. They both under the SAPS, which means they fall under Government Employees Pension Fund, which is governed by Government Employees Pension Fund Law or Pension Law. Government Employees Pension Law. Now the question is, what does the law say about if someone is dismissed? Are they going to lose their pension? That's the question we are trying to answer. Now, if you go to the Government Employees Pension Law of 1996 and you go there to section 21, which is, it reads similarly as Pension Fund Act section 37A and 37D. We are going to marry the two. Now, section 21 of the government fund, so this now relates to Shibiri and Sinon. Now, 21 subsection 1A says you can't cede, neither can you transfer or hypothecate your pension fund, meaning ceding or hypothecating means you are yielding. If you owe someone and you can't pay that, then ceding or hypothecate, you giving away your pension to say, as a security, take my pension. Now, the pension cannot be ceded, cannot be hypothecated. You can't surrender your pension to anyone because you owe them. Got that? That's section 21, subsection 1. You follow me? And then let's put it here so that we move together. Now, under the same section 21, now this is subsection 2. Subsection 3, and that will be paragraph C, which now says the employer or the fund may, got that? So the fund may, if you go to Roman figure 3, may deduct, right, any amount that an employee owes to the employer. But there are conditions that you can do that. Meaning any amount, then it says the amount of which, or the amount of any loss which has been sustained by the employer through theft, dishonesty, fraud, negligence, and or any misconduct on the part of the member, meaning the employee. Right? So the employer can deduct your pension if your dismissal was based on theft, it was based on dishonesty, it was based on fraud, and it was based on negligence or any misconduct. Now let's bring that into context. Case law, it's just that I could not attach the case law. Case law says, reading that which I was quoting, theft, fraud, dishonesty, negligence, any misconduct. Case law says that negligence is not mere negligence. And that misconduct is not just mere misconduct. The court reads that to say all this happens within the context of dishonesty. So it must be a misconduct, any misconduct, but the main element should be dishonesty. Right? So all the misconduct, they must be able to be linked to dishonesty. If not, then the employer has no, or the fund has no right to deduct. And when they deduct the fund, either it's going down this section, either the employee must accept the liability to say, no, indeed, I am accepting the liability. I'm accepting that there was theft, there was fraud, and I'm allowing the fund to deduct. That's now by consent. Without consent, then the employer must go to court and get an interdict to interdict the fund from paying out pensions. But in that interdict, they must explain why they want the fund to interdict the releasing of the money. And they must put there to make sure that the interdict is on the basis that there is theft, there's fraud, there's dishonesty, and there's this negligence which is associated with dishonesty. Because one can be negligent in order to benefit their friend. One can, say for example with SAPS, a police officer can negligently arrest someone, but deep down they have colluded with the lawyers of that person they arrest so that they can sue the SAPS. So that's now negligence which is associated with dishonesty. So those are the cases that allow the fund to withhold. But without this, any pension fund cannot withhold pension. Now, dismissal is categorized as withdrawal. And then there's pension, when someone takes a pension. Now, Sinona had applied for an early retirement. So with early retirement, you do apply, then the employer can decide to say they must give you your permit. So that which is mentioned in the clip to say he had tried to access his pension benefits, what it means is he had applied for early retirement. What he was trying to do is to leave the police, but without him losing the benefits he's getting if you retire within the government employees pension fund. You can still get some of the benefits. So he wanted to access his pension through early retirement, but they refused. But then another way of withdrawal now, because he was not going to be punished had his pension early retirement approved. He was not going to be punished by SARS. But now it's a withdrawal, then SARS is going to punish them. Watch this also. I'm going to put it on my YouTube. Check my YouTube channel here. And we say hello.